I'm okay with it. They're not going to silence me. We are talking about the mouse.
No, I don't think we're big enough to
No,
for
also we're
them
not
to be
saying
concerned
so.
about. So, well, no, but it's also just fun to listen to this and like hear the stories about the people being in costume and stuff like that from Disney and like all the characters, and they have like their own terminology and everything like that. But it's also fun just because they're exactly the people that you would expect. Like you and I have been involved in the theater world, and it's exactly those kind of people. I mean, like they're putting on a show, and like on the show, they're all sparkly and friendly and everything like that. But of course, like you take off the mask and they got a potty mouth. So
They are grouches. They are. It's
yeah.
like, hi, Andrew.
Hi, Brandon.
Start that timer.
Boom.
So yeah, everyone in a mascot suit once they are either the most chill people or the angriest people I've ever met in my entire
Hmm.
life. I like to think I fall somewhere like you always think you're normal, everyone else is a weirdo. But one of the things I noticed is like there were a lot of people who like I've met people who are relatively big mascots and they are furious that they do not have the same level of fame as their mascot. Or like you also get people that are like, I'm just bringing the joy and fun and positivity. And you're like, I don't know, man. I'm
Yeah.
sweating and dying out there. And like, I'm not having the best. I mean, the best part of wearing a mascot suit is always no one can tell if you're crying.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
So,
it. You cover this up. Then you're just
uh-huh.
this in a suit and you just go,
Mhm.
like, it looks like you hold your belly and it looks like you're laughing and you're having the
Right.
best time. Really, you're falling apart. They cannot tell. It's fine. That might be a metaphor for performances in general.
I was
Um,
gonna say, you could take that pretty deep if you want to, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's also it's one of those things like we came up and I don't know if it's good or bad, but did come up a little different. Young
Mhm.
people are like, man, I just had a rough day. I don't know if I can do it. And I'm like, yeah, we're all gonna die one day. And I just had like one of the worst days of my life. Put on the suit and shut up. Like, you know what I mean? Like that you have no understudy. The show must go on. There's a darkness in the
Yeah.
phrase the show must go on, which is a producer phrase, not a performer phrase
Mhm.
necessarily. But if you were ever raised with the show must go on mentality, there's a darkness in your heart that is like, I remember I was working an open mic and I worked the last open mic in Philadelphia before the world just shut down. Like we
Yeah.
knew the pandemic was coming,
Yeah.
and I worked an open mic and went, no one, the pandemic is here, and
Uh-huh.
we are shutting down tomorrow. And the pandemic is here. I
Yeah.
know I keep saying this, and I'm working an open mic, so there is little money for me, and I
Yeah.
showed up, and no money for a lot of the people that showed up, and the show still had to go on, and that's not like it's one of those things like it's not. I'm not like yeah rah rah rah. I'm like this
Yeah.
feels like a sickness.
Yeah.
This is not a good. This is not like there's a like I will survive and the show must go on or similar phrases and they have a similar
Mhm.
darkness that if you listen to people, we might have talked about this before, but that's okay. But if you listen to people who say it,
Mhm.
there is a madness behind their eyes that you can't ignore.
Yeah, and well, and I think that kind of madness, it can be a very good thing if it's used in the right way, I think. But but taken too far, I mean, obviously, like then it's taken too far.
Yeah.
And I think like yeah, and I think I mean I remember like when when the pandemic happened and we had that like first week of shutdown or whatever. And I don't think I was the only one that felt this way, but I remember feeling like, whoa, I'm like relaxing right now. Like, what's going on here? And just because I couldn't leave the house, I couldn't, I mean, even though, I was working, it was like, it was so different from having to drive everywhere and everything like that. And it was like, whoa, okay, what's going on here? And I think a lot of people felt that way to a certain degree, along with a lot of other complicated emotions, of course, but that's one of the things I distinctly remember is like, whoa, I'm actually like kind of relaxing a little here.
I don't think I
Um,
felt a second of relaxation. I was just like, how do we like
yeah,
I was one of those people that are like, we're gonna zoom, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna make this? Like
yeah.
which does it is funny that we're yeah, this does come from that, but
Yeah.
they never work. Man, we put out so many stupid Zoom plays, and no one watched. I don't think anyone watched a second of a Zoom play that got put up. Like, we all made them. I'm not listen. The Zoom play you were in, it was brilliant, and everyone watched. To you
To
and
you. Yeah.
whoever is watching this,
Yeah.
their feelings are gonna get hurt. But we all
Yeah.
know, everyone like the show must go on madness really made us just keep putting plays up.
Well, it wasn't, I mean, like I did plenty of those, like you're talking about, and all the like virtual music stuff and anything like that, and like, and they were fun. I mean, like it's not like when I say like I felt relaxed, it wasn't that I stopped doing stuff and just laid on the couch for 3 years and watched, Netflix, which I think some people probably did do that actually. So,
Good for
but
them. I'm not even
yeah,
good
good
for
for
them.
them. No, I mean, like I still have that like that drive too. What I guess what I mean is like there's sort of a difference. There was a difference though in like having to drive. I mean, because we're kind of back into that right now, where I mean I'm freaking driving everywhere. It's like um it's like everything is scheduled, and like on Saturday, for instance, like I had like I had my day planned out, and like I had barely enough time to get from one place to another, and then the earlier thing like happened to end a little bit early, and I like all of a sudden like had this half hour, and I was like, whoa, what do I do with my half hour? It was like it's that kind of feeling. It's like, whoa, hold on, what do I do with like 30 minutes that I can actually like breathe? Like it's that kind of feeling I was talking about. Like
Yeah, that's a hard feeling to give up. One of the
yeah,
things about the show must go on madness that
yeah.
is so hard is that it is madness.
Mm,
And it does not care if it is good or bad. It is
mhm.
only like it only wants to feed.
Yeah.
So in its necessity to only want to feed, it's hard to go like it could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. It could
Mm,
be you can isolate and drive yourself and burn yourself out and keep swinging at nothing but ghosts
mhm,
and separate from the people that care about you,
mhm,
or it could really get you focused, but it doesn't care. So you have to be
mhm.
the one who tame. This is a wild animal, and you have to do your best to tame it. You're not always going to win,
Yeah.
but you have to like be the one that makes it be a positive thing.
Well, and I think the way it is a positive thing is kind of stuff that's probably come up in our podcast before, but like the the way that it can be harnessed for production, like in the
Mm-hmm.
sense of creation. Production is not the word, but creation, creating.
Or
Um,
production sometimes, man.
yeah,
Sometimes it's making product.
yeah, just making funny too. Um, so I think if it's harnessed like that and that sort of drive, um, because like especially like in the arts, there kind of has to be at least one person. Like there can be more, but there has to be at least one person who just takes the reins and makes things and presses the gas pedal and just makes it go. You know, just like what like how does a theater or a music production come into existence? You know, it's not it is because of all the parts of all the people that are there. But someone has to be there like just pulling everything together.
You need someone or something to be the trail or road. Like, you got a
Yeah.
lot of tires, and tires are great, and you got motors and stuff, but you do need someone that goes, this is the direction we're all heading in.
Yeah.
And if all the tires are going in different directions, cars don't run.
Hmm. And I think, and it really comes down to, there's always like the big talk of like, okay, doing what you love and the passion for it. And there is, there's definitely a lot of hyperbole with that, but there's also a lot of truth to that because it's like no real sane person would go through all the tension and the trouble if if we wouldn't didn't have that love and the outcome of what's actually happening,
Mm-hmm.
with it. Um, so that's where the madness can be a good thing, but it can also wreak havoc on people as well.
Yeah, it is. I know. A, I'm going to say this: if you work in the arts, uh, do your best to get yourself a therapist. That's going to be something you need.
Yeah.
You're gonna need someone who on the out, and you're gonna have to lop off at least part of one of your days and spend an hour going, I don't know why I keep doing this, because someone needs to hear this.
Mhm.
You need to be able to commute. You need to work on your communication with other individuals and your ability to be clear, concise, and you need to be able to admit that you made a mistake when you made a mistake. But also, if you go, I don't know if I love it, you just lock in. You gotta make decisions and weary the storm. And one of the things that you should try to do, which is something I'm trying to do because I'm working with a lot of people right now, and I'm working with people under me, and I'm um, having to delegate constantly. Do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. And my job, on some level, when it comes to theater, has become more of a job of delegation and less of a job of a guy who swings a hammer. And it's not my favorite thing. It is a challenge to
Yeah.
be able to delegate clearly. And I think one of the things I've been trying to do, and I think it is a quiet act of rebellion about the way the world works or seems to want to work. And it's occasionally I am trying to be here now. And it's something that has come up around for a lot of people is you go, okay, I got this. We need to get this done by this time. You need to go here. I need this in 15 minutes. I need that for 25 minutes. I need you to do that for 25 minutes. Then I don't care if it's done or not. You're done with it. We're going to pick it up tomorrow. Do that for 2 hours. We're going to pick it up tomorrow because we need that to drive for 2 hours because we got a rehearsal in 6 hours. So we got to be able to keep on top of all of this. I need you to send out this email. That's going to take, that's going to be able to do this. That needs to go out. Then we need to be able to sit down and bang out this. I need to sit down for 2 minutes. And every once in a while, you have to stop and you have to exist in the moment you are in. And I think you need to do that as a person so that you can stop. Because I think all of that is important, but I think all of that is production based, not creation based. There is the line between production and creation is thick, but it is hard to see when you exist in it. And I think sometimes you have to be able to take a moment and give yourself the space to do creation and to be creative, and not to only do production and to make product. And I think one of the best ways to do that, even if you're working on product right now, and I work on products sometimes. Sometimes shows I work on, things I work on, they are a production and they are product. People come, they pay money, and but to have an act of creation and to work in creativity, I think it is important to try to stop. Not constantly. You can't live there, unfortunately. Other people can, not you. You're watching a very small YouTube channel. You have to be aware that you exist in this space and that your existence in this space is worthy, and it takes up space and time. You got 2 minutes. We got to fill it, dude.
Yeah, that was pretty. I thought you were looking at me like that was like the end of it. We got like
No,
3.5 minutes
because
left.
I unfortunately I speak like a supervillain, right? Unfortunately, I speak like a supervillain. I start somewhere, we drive for a little bit, I tell you the plan, and then your job is to go. My job is to go, Mr. Bond. Do you expect me to die? And my job is, to go, no, I expect you to listen. And I have to tell the whole plot of the whole fuck movie, and then you have to try to figure out something to do with it. That's
Right.
that's the undercurrent of this podcast. Is I talk for blocks.
Exactly.
And then you come in and you talk for like not as much blocks, but then you sort of purse it out and make a thing, Also, I found this new phrase, which I love, which is the prize you want. I don't know if I said this last week. The prize you want is behind the work you're avoiding. And like that is super. That's one of the most useful things I think to motivate myself has been the thing I want is behind the work I'm avoiding. And you can do other work. I'm not saying don't do it.
Yeah.
But the thing I'm like, oh, well, I really want this or that. It's usually behind the stuff I don't want to do. And it gets me out. And I'm dealing with some burnout in my life right now. But it's been good to get me out of the house and go, just do this project. Go do this project. Why? I don't want to. I don't want to drive. I don't want to do the thing. The thing you want is there. That's
Yeah.
where that is. So you got to go do that.
Mhm.
So that has been a very, I don't know, I should have wrote down who said that, but yeah, the prize you want is behind the work you're avoiding. Is a good, like,
Yeah.
tattoo it on your butt backwards so you can read it in the mirror.
Now I wonder how I wonder like how far you can take that, because so here's I I don't know like what exactly your situation is right now, but here's the way that I would typically interpret something like that. Is like, okay, like when you're working towards a production or yeah, or music, or learning a piece of music or something like that, then you would you get stuck, you get frustrated, or whatever, you take on the work that you're talking about, and that's where the prize is. Okay, so what if there's like, part of the job, or part of something, what if there's part of something you're doing that you don't want, and you have to
I think we're gonna have to figure this out next week.
I think so.
That's next week. We got to know what prize. To next week, we are going to delegate what prizes we want, what work we want, and what prizes we don't want.
Yeah, because I think that might be just as important. Yeah,
it's good to know. It's good to know what we have. That we have a thing to talk about next week.
That's right. Hopefully, remember what it is.
See you next week. Yeah, we will. We will. Just. I'm going to remember. It's okay, because we have in our pre-meeting. We'll do it in the pre-meeting.
All right. Cool.
Cool.